data. EPR means electronic patient report, data hiding in MRI volumes for telemedicine using rectangular box embedding method. So we people are from, I am from computer science department. We a small group doing research on digital image processing, and also we are handling projects from DST. This project is handling MRI head volumes, analyzing the MRI head volumes, and we are producing computer-based automatic techniques. It is a pattern recognizing techniques to analyze the medically important patterns will be analyzed by our methods. Actually, the outcome of this project, I have an idea while after come across several interviews by our Indian radiologists and neurologists, we have an idea to implement this results of this method, this project to improve to enrich the teleradiology technique in India. So I am very happy to have more reliable and relevant person from neurology department as to chair this session. I think he can understand something from this, and he can maybe give some idea to me also. And this is our very relevant terms to you. You all know that telemedicine uses the ICT to transfer the medical information. So this teleradiology is one of the subset of this telemedicine. This is specially for radiographic images and report transformation alone. So, but here this is primarily a medical practice, but it's then a business. Okay. So for medical practice, here the main purpose is here it is used to interpretation and or consultation. Either a physician expect a radiology to interpret the results by sending the image set to the radiologist, or a radiology to get a very accurate report, he can send his result to some other report to some other radiologist to get an accurate verified report. Otherwise, we can hybrid these two and get this. Okay. So, but any of this transmission here, we are having two types of transmission. One is image set transmission. Another one is the report transmission. So that's what in each and every side of the node we have to maintain two databases. One is the image set database, another one is the report database. So one of the major drawback what the radiologists or what the processing people, the operators realized is the mapping technique between the patient report and their respective image sets. Okay, this is one of the main demerit. So here this is so I already told you, no, this first initially medical practice, then business. So in the business here we are and centrally we will have a server. It is the cloud computing plays a major role. You all very familiar with the cloud computing. Cloud computing, the main purpose is pay per service. Okay, it will here we are storing everything on that is all the image sets in a server. Then this data, that image data will be used by any radiologist or experts or anyone, those who need to view the image, they can take it and they can verify it and send the results to the server itself. So this is based on the web-based teleradiology service. Here between the server and nodes, there are several clients are there. The clients are classified into image viewers and image centers, or report seekers and report centers. In that way we can classify the clients. So here between the server and client, here in our computer term we usually refer it as a two-tier architecture and three-tier architecture, but here we can since we are going to implement our application as a process, here we can use a three-tier architecture as application logic as a separate tier. So in the web-based teleradiology system, in the existing system, there are several issues or challenges are there. The first one main issues is you all know that MRI head volume usually consists of hundreds of images because there are several studies were taken for the patient. So hundreds and 200s of images will be associated with each and every patient. So that's what. So if you want to get an report, that is diagnostic report from the teleradiologist, so through the telecommunication, we have to send all those images, the entire volume to the teleradiology. So this is one of the major drawback. That is, they need a very quick and economical distribution of the radiological images. Okay, that is one of the main issue with this. And second one is accuracy of reporting. Accuracy of reporting is this can be only done by when more than one radiologist, two or more radiologists should be give a report about the patient. Then only we can go for accuracy of reporting. But you all know that yesterday and they discussed that the lack of radiologists with our Indian country. So we cannot expect this, this accuracy of reporting. And third one is about the data security and patient confidentiality. Okay. So while sending the reporting, there are chances for that report can be anyone can read and know about the details of the patient. So this is one of the next issue. So for that, in our proposed method, for economical distribution of radiological images, here what our method, our automatic method will do means, it will select the clinically meaningful images. Okay, it will select it and it will transmit it. So that is known to be SOI, slices of interest will be selected. For that we have developed our methods. And second thing is for accuracy of reporting, in internationally the other countries outside India, what they are doing on, they are depending the computers to play a major role, that is to recognize the diagnostically important patterns. So these patterns, these areas, it will generate, that is known to be region of interest. This may be used as a second opinion to the radiologist. The radiology can be make use this as a, to generate a very fast report about that. This is ROI selection. And third one is about this data security and confidentiality, and I already told you, the mapping technique problem. So that's what we are doing. Instead of maintaining two database, we can embed we can write the patient report within the image set itself. So we can maintain only one database. So in that time, while writing the patient report on the image, we will encrypt the image and write it on the we will encrypt the report and write it onto the images. So that's the cryptography is there for to secure the patient detail. So these are all the three solutions we are provided through our proposed technique. So here our goal is from the huge volume of huge MRI volume, first we will select the slices of interest. Then from there we will select the region of interest. That is, while embedding the patient report on the image set, it should not be disturb any diagnostically important area of the image. So that's what you have to protect the area, that is the region of interest. Then next is encrypt the data. Then the embedding, EPR embedding. These are our 4 goals we have developed for this teleradiology system. So for that, our proposed method framework is, it has 3 parts. First one is text mapping out part, image mapping out part, and third is embedding part. So I will show you the image. So this is our framework. So the first one is, that is the image processing part. So first the set of axial, here we are working with this axial MRI slices because axials are best studied to analyze the tumor patterns of the head volumes. So the axial MRI slices, from the axial MRI, first we will extract, because in the head volume everything will be visible in that image set. So here we will extract only the brain portion, that is our region of interest. Then after extracting the brain portion and each and every slices, then we will find out whether that slice is required to transfer, that is detecting the slices of interest. That is, this is based on, that is clinically meaningful slices, that is one test. Here we are testing the slices based on the tumor pattern, because our DST project is tumor detection, MRI tumor detection from MRI volume. So if the tumor is available with that slice is taken to transmit over the network. Okay. So this is the first part, image processing part, and next one is, this is with the text. Okay. So the after radiology produce the result, each and everything on the report is converted into a character, then they will be encrypted. Then finally these 2 things are, we have selected some slices, subset of slices. In those slices, this encrypted text will be written onto the slices, then it will be sent to the that is the physician who needs the report. Okay. So this is our framework of the proposed method. So for to implement this framework, these are all the techniques we have used. One is brain extraction algorithm, that is ROI, region of interest. Here our region of interest is brain. And second one is slices of interest. Slices of interest means abnormality detection. Whether the abnormality is available, then that slice will be selected for transmission. Then encryption technique and embedding schemes. Okay. So this is the brain portion extraction, brain extraction algorithm. I think you all very familiar with this 3 orientation. In MRI we can produce axial, coronal and sagittal orientations. So in this 3 orientation, this is our result. We will extract only brain from this images. I think you can differentiate this thing. In the upper portion, everything is available with the slices. The eyes, skull, scalp, everything, neck, everything is available. But that will be our automated algorithm will remove everything and it will produce only the brain. Okay. So this is our region of interest. So only that region of interest we are selected only this brain. Then the rest of the portion in the image that will be used to embed the patient report on the image. So that is ROI selection that is used to embedding the patient report within the image. And the same time, if you have only brain, then it will be very easy to find out whether the abnormality is present within the brain. Okay, so that's what these are the two advantage of this thing. These are our two publications. We have developed two brain extraction algorithm and published our work in Elsevier publication. The journal name is Computers in Biology and Medicine. Okay, this is one algorithm and this is the second algorithm. Two papers were published in this, and this is the use of the ROI selection. In two ways it will be used. One is it is used in computer aided diagnostic system, and second one is it may be used in a telemedicine also. And in abnormality detection process, in axial scan, that is the two cerebral hemispheres are almost symmetric about the IHF. Interhemisphere fissures. Based on this concept, you have checked whether any abnormality present within either of the hemisphere. Okay, we are not going for both the hemisphere, either of the hemisphere. If it is present, then that slice is taken as an abnormal slice. So this results in SOI. So for this also we have, so this work is actually we are using some fuzzy techniques, fuzzy segmentation techniques, fuzzy symmetric measures are we are using to check these concepts. So this paper also published in one journal, fully automatic method to identify the abnormal MRI scans using fuzzy segmentation and fuzzy symmetric measures. So, so if the abnormality is present, abnormality is detected, then that slice will be selected for transmission. Otherwise, it won't be selected for transmission. So here, what we are doing this, within each and every slice, we will check a symmetric point, that is one point is there. So if the asymmetric point, if the asymmetric is very much high, that is known to be the mid slice. From the mid slice, we will choose some number of slices from the front and back, and we will get a subset of slices and we will transmit over the thing. I will show you the output of this. Okay, this is a original MRI volume. So we will have 55 slices in this. So in this, this is the head scan taken from bottom of the neck to top of the head. This is taken. This is the starting from this is from the neck portion, and brain stems are there up to the top of the head. So here our algorithm ROI, it's only select the brain from the each and every slice. So you can see the difference here. There is no brain in the first row. First row we don't have any brain, but here in a ROI it will correctly select the brain alone. Okay, region of interest selection. So from this, in the middle, from the last, the third rows, you will have some abnormalities due to tumor. Some abnormalities are there. So for SOI selection based on fuzzy technique, it will select only those slices which are affected by the tumor. Okay. So from using ROI, some number of slices are removed, and from further using this SOI concept, some more number of slices are removed. Okay, only 50% of the slices only selected for the transmission. Okay. So after that, we will have this encryption and decryption algorithm. So here it is a very simple algorithm. In this algorithm, we are having two parameters. The small r and d are the parameters. These are known to be the secret keys. We have to set this key to encrypt the characters and the other end to decrypt the characters. But we are working more simple and efficient algorithm, which will be dependent on only a single secret keys. That secret key may be here we are using a static key, but it may be in future we will go for a dynamic key, which may be depends on the referral radiologist number. Okay, that we have a future plan. And I told the rectangular box embedding, how the rectangular box embedding plays a role in here. Here I will show you the image. So first one is original, second is extracted brain is extracted. So the rectangle box, the bounding rectangle box of the brain region, that will be identified when after that when we write the report, when we embed the report on the image, it will leave that portion and non-ROI will be used to write the report. Okay, this is the concept of, so this ROI, we have an algorithm to identify the concept. This concept is used to identify the boundary of the rectangle, then that boundary values and key values, everything will be stored in the first row of the image. What will happen in the sender side? So in the receiver side, so it will be received, the slice will be received, then from that we all know that boundary of the rectangle, no? So within the boundary of the rectangle is treated as our diagnostic, that image portion. Then outside the boundary, the text are taken. Anyway, it is in an encrypted format. Embedded is in an encrypted format. Then they will be decrypted and displayed into the required format. Okay, so this is the concept. So that's all about for doing our research. Here, this Massachusetts General Hospital, it will have one research area, Internet Brain Segmentation Repository. There it will have large of volumes and manually segmented portions, everything is there. So you can very well compare your results with this website. And second, we get some support from the KGS Advanced MR in CT scan Madurai. And third, in Harvard Medical School, they will have one website which will, in which they have the volumes, the tumor volumes are there in this Harvard Medical School. We have taken this tumor volumes and tested our results. So that's what, since they have both the things, they have the original volume as well as the resulted volume also. That's what we can easily have our qualitative and quantitative comparison, everything, and we have several publications regarding this. So this is our own qualitative. That's what we discussed. First one is a glioma, a slice taken from a glioma pattern, a normal and MBC pattern, sarcoma pattern. So first that brain is taken and the rectangle box is marked and that portion is protected. The outside portion is used to write the report and it will be transmitted to the other side. This is the concept. When we do this, when we compare this in quantitatively, so for the entire volume, the full bar is the number of, just it is tested for 4 volumes. So the full bar is the total, the size of the entire volume. When we implement this, our algorithm, just that volume size is very much reduced. The size is in kilobytes, not in bits. So 1/4 of the size is reduced for first one. But whereas in second and third one and all, first one is normal, second, third, fourth and all some abnormal volumes. So more number of slices could be transmitted for the abnormal volumes. So that's what they are having some higher values. So using this is the same thing. What I explained in this graph is given in tabular column. So that's what in our proposed method, a patient report approximately 7,000 to 20,000 characters could be embedded into our images because we have large number of slices. So we can embed more number of characters with that. And here static number of slices we have taken for this result, for this experiment, but in future we will have to transfer dynamic number of subsets to transfer on the for verification, and the experiment results shows that 50% of reduction in data volume is possible with this technique if we implement this. So this is our conclusion. We have proposed this method. Here this region of interest selection, it is used to embed the data as well as save the space, and tumor detected slices or SOIS are selected to transmit over network. So these slices of interest to reduce the storage and memory also help doctors to diagnose the meaningful slices, clinically meaningful slices, SOIR. And RBM, this technique is a fully automatic technique. It makes a lossless data mapping procedure. So this still the study is going on. These are all the references. These are our publications in LC work. I have 2 publications and 3 with abnormality detections. And this is my research. One that research is supported by DST under Young Scientist Scheme under the SEED division. SEED is Science for Equity, Empowerment and Development Division under DST. So that is the above thing is this is a part of the work is submitted to my PhD degree and I got my doctoral degree during 2010. That's all.
Very interesting topic it was. It was open for discussion.
You spoke about decrypting and encrypting and decrypting of the text.
Text. So instead of using decrypt, encrypt, we can go for compression. You are asking to decrypt the image details. Okay, no problem, sir, because image intensities are in numbers only, integers only. No, we can do it. No, everything is developed by us. That's why we have publications.
The only issue I was
Yes, sir.
thinking, of course,
I
this is
expect
going to be
more.
of a very great help, especially when you want to transfer images from one place to other, and we don't want a lot of space to be taken for the bandwidth purpose. So this is going to be of great help when it comes to picture. We want only the where there is a lesion, where there is a problem you would like to see, not unnecessary images.
Yeah,
So
yes.
this is going to really take away a lot of bandwidth problems. The question is, when you are doing it, there are areas when we give injection, contrast injection. Sometimes you see these lesions goes unnoticed.
Yes.
It may look normal to you. And then, you know, for all medical legal purposes, if you do not pick these lesions, unless sometime what happened, we give a lot of these contrast material, and then only these lesions are even picked up.
Yes, sir.
So what will you do with them?
So initially we are started with this low-grade gliomas only, sir. They are very bright, hyper-intense in T2 images. So in future we have an idea to implement all these concepts because tumors, we have a lot of tumors are there now.
Because
So
many times, you see, sometimes these lesions go, small lesions or large lesions,
chances
for
missing
medical legal purpose, they will go. You know, you cannot even take them. You will not be able to see them unless you give large quantities of contrast material.
Yes, sir.
Or sometime what we give T1, T2 images and things like that, you keep changing images. So I don't know how much of work is going on in that particular level.
No, sir, we are not yet started with that, only with the T2. The next project, we have an idea to go for all types of tumors.
Was it done for CT scan or was it being taken only for MRI? Why
sir.
you did not do it for CT scans, which is more easier? Why that was
I
not picked
started with
up?
the MRI.
That's a longer process, and
So
that's a
that's
bigger
what-
process because you have different phases of MRI.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know why you picked it up. It's a very difficult question. Thank you very much. It's a very interesting talk.